In 1755, Captain Ludvig Collin, an impoverished Danish officer of humble birth, retires after 25 years of service from the German army with a measly pension to his native Denmark and obtains a permission from the Royal Danish Court to build a property on the barren Jutland moorland for land cultivation. He hopes to establish a settlement on that property, and in return for that he requests from the court a privilege of a noble title with an associated manor. Soon after arriving at the site of his prospective homestead, he comes into conflict with Frederik Schinkel, a local magistrate at the nearby Hald Manor and a merciless landowner who has been trying to monopolize ownership of the moorland. Schinkel does his utmost to make workforce unavailable to Collin, who covertly employs and harbors Johannes Eriksson and his wife Anne Barbara, two of Schinkel's indentured serf farmers who broke their contract and fled Frederik's mistreatment. After being led to their camp by Anne Muse, a Romani girl he catches trying to steal from him, he also hires the Tatar Romani travelers as workers, though that practice is illegal. In the meantime, Schinkel's cousin and betrothed Adele Helena is not interested in marrying him, but her father insists on the marriage due to Schinkel's substantial wealth, unless she can come up with an alternative suitor within a year. At a harvest ball, Adele meets Collin secretly and share a kiss to seal the understanding that if he can acquire a noble title within the year, they will marry, offering her an escape from the unwanted union with her cousin. Towards the end of the party, Schinkel reveals that he has recaptured Johannes while he was on his way to the coast to acquire clay for Collin's farm. The escaped serf is tortured to death with boiling water by his former master in front of the appalled party guests. Collin takes Johannes' body back to his wife. Seeing the boiled body of their fellow worker, the travelers leave Collin's employment, though Anne Muse manages to stay behind. Despite multiple challenges during a brutal winter, with Anne Barbara and Anne Muse's help, Collin manages to plant the potatoes brought from Germany and harvest 80 sacks. In the process, the three form an unofficial family, and Collin and Anne Barbara start a sexual relationship. When the king receives report of the successful harvest, he orders the establishment of a settlement on Collin's estate. Collin is conferred the title of royal surveyor and 50 settlers from northern Germany are sent to his land. The superstitious settlers are repulsed by Anne Muse, although she manages to stay out of sight and learns reading and surveying from Collin. Furious at Collin's success, Schinkel imports convicts to attack the new settlement, murdering 2 settlers and half the livestock. In revenge, Collin and a few settlers attack and kill the perpetrators in their hideout, though he is forced to send Anne Muse away in exchange for their help. This betrayal also causes Anne Barbara to leave as well. Schinkel's officer Preisler witnesses the killings and flees. Schinkel, along with his fellow estate owners, reports this to the king's cabinet. The new settlement's land's ownership is transferred to Schinkel and Collin is arrested. While Collin is being tortured at Schinkel's estate, Anne Barbara sneaks in and prepares a poisoned drink, while Adele leads Schinkel into drinking it. While he is incapacitated, Anne Barbara comes in and stabs him in the stomach and castrates him. Butler Bondo explains everything to the king's cabinet. Collin is released, Anne Barbara is imprisoned for life and Adele returns to her home in Norway. Collin locates Anne Muse and promises to take care of her, and the two begin living in the farm. A few years later, an officer informs Collin that he is granted the title of Baron and that 400 new settlers will be arriving soon. Before that happens, Anne Muse leaves with a traveling Romani group. Collin leaves the moor and his title is annulled. He eventually frees Anne Barbara from a traveling prisoner cart and both of them ride a horse towards the sea.